Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Kuhn Corners. Woo! We are going to make an arrangement today using rich tones of reds, kind of like a monochromatic arrangement to set the tone for autumn. Who isn't excited about autumn? We have some beautiful maple leaves, which are gorgeous. We have dark callas. We have ranunculus. We have anemones, red anemones. We have some beautiful roses, some wax flower, some seeded eucalyptus, and of course some lily grass, because who doesn't like lily grass, right? So we are going to be using this container. This is a container from our luxury line here at Kuhn Flowers. It's a very beautiful and very, very, very heavy, like very heavy. This isn't going to go anywhere. So we're going to design something today using these things. I don't know what yet. I'm still trying to soak this in to be inspired. So I guess the only way to be inspired is we dig in, right? Right. So I'm going to start with some leaves. And these leaves are beautiful. They are just gorgeous. They add so much to an arrangement. They give you rich tones and a different texture. I don't know what way I'm going to go with this yet. And sometimes I don't know what way I'm going with it until it gets there. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. I might want it to come flow up here and come out the back. And we try to, when you purchase something, I just wanted to say a quick note. When we purchase something, we want to make sure that we want to use all these little tidbits because you've paid for all of that. So you want to use that. So I think I'm going to use my callas, which these callas are beautiful. And what I'm doing is I'm just massaging it with a little bit of grip because it'll allow it to do whatever I want to with it. It'll manipulate it. So with these callas, anytime that you're using a stem like this is super soft, so you want to make sure that you put these particular flowers in first, because trying to feed these and weed these through a whole bunch of other flowers will make it extremely hard, and you might not be able to get a good insertion with it. And when we insert, we want to go at least an inch and a half to 2 inches, depending on what you're putting in. And I'm just going to massage this again and put it over here so it comes out that way. And let's do another one. So these are really fun to do, and it's so therapeutic doing arrangements. See, I must have hit a stem there. See? And it broke. Okay, so we have that there. And I think I'm going to do the same kind of thing on the opposite side, but not going to hang over tons. And callas are more premium flowers, so they do cost a little bit more than your traditional daisies and roses and gerbers, but they do last a long time, especially if you take care of them. Anytime we keep our water clean and flowers hydrated and pick off all the bad pieces, they last a lot longer than just letting your vase sit there and wilt away. So now that I have these two things on this side and this side, I might cut this particular piece off, add some red over to this side, and go from there. Now I'm going to take some of my roses, and I think I'm going to do more a linear kind of going through here, a linear style. And I'm just inserting these where I think they'll be nice at. And I might have to do some adjusting. You always have to do adjusting. You think they're going to be perfect, that we're going to design perfectly, but sometimes you have to move things about. You don't want to move them too much because they are an oasis, so you don't want to make your arrangement full of Swiss cheese, kind of like. So we do have that. And roses in the autumn time, you can use peaches, reds, and get this purples look fantastic in fall arrangements. So I'm taking these roses and I'm kind of going through my arrangement. And these are just a vivid color, just a vivid color. Oh, that looks pretty. Now I do have these anemones, which are beautiful. They're nice and big. We're going to use those. And the same thing, these stems of the anemones are quite soft too. So you want to make sure that before you load your arrangement up with things, that you kind of put this in where you can see spots. So there's empty spots that I'm going to put this in. And since this has some white in it, your eye is going to be pulled to these first. So I want to make sure I put this in a line of like a focal point. I'm fishing through here. I'm hoping this looks good on your side. Does it? Tell me if it doesn't. So I'm going to kind of push that through there. Oh, I think these are so pretty. You know, there's always those one or two anemones that you might get. I know for us, when I'm working with anemones, sometimes there's always that one or two anemone that doesn't make it. And what I mean by that, the petals will be damaged. But look at him. I thought, oh, I can't get rid of him. He's so cute. Because it has just a different texture. So I'm going to definitely use him. Remember what I said? If you purchase these things, you want to make sure you use all of them. Every single one. So I'm going to pull this back here. Oh, I love it. Look at these ranunculus. Isn't that beautiful? Ah, they are so beautiful. The texture that this will add to your arrangement is stunning. And I'm going to use this little guy right here. Oh, they're just so pretty. Fall time is the best time to use things that you normally wouldn't, like sticks. Sticks work really great because you can add texture to any arrangement with sticks from the yard, sticks from outside. You can buy curly willow from us, which is beautiful. You can also purchase birch, which is really nice because it gives you some lines. But sticks and foliages, and especially foliages that they look like they've seen their later day at fall. It's just autumn. It looks beautiful. And the same thing with these ranunculus. They do have a soft stem, so you want to make sure that when you're using them, you can see where you're inserting them, or you'll end up wasting it and cutting it and cutting it and cutting it. And then you won't be any good. So I think I need one more down here. So now I have this laying on the side, this running through. I might want to add one more calla closer to the center because I can still see my oasis. So you might want to add one or two up here. So it will bring this color through. It'll pull this color through. And you know, I've been doing this a long, long time. But let me tell you, I still learn things. And that's the great thing about this industry, is that you can watch other people and learn things from your peers, from people that have done way more than you. I know some fantastic designers that do a fabulous job. And I still learn to this day from those there. So now I've kind of pulled that through. I'll show you what this side kind of looks like. And see, now I'm going to go back and, okay, let me finicky this side. Move this rose. I think I'm going to put it more so in there. Because I think I want to make this a little heavier down at the bottom. And I think I want to do it with an anemone. Yeah, I think so. All right, see, I can make sometimes I can't make my mind up very well. And since I cut him too short, well, he's just not cooperating. See, we do make mistakes too, but I'm not going to not use him. I will use him. Just watch and see. And the same thing with sunflowers. You can, if you get sunflowers, you can take the petals off once they start to turn bad. You can take the petals off. Oh, you just thought. You can take the petals off and use the inside for texture, like keep the sunflower, just like what we did with the anemone. So what I'm going to do with him is I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll have his little petals were damaged on the outside anyways, but I didn't think you would be able to notice that. So I'm just going to take that off. But see, isn't that fun? We could use that. And if you don't have anemones, you can take spray roses, leave them out all day, and they'll open up really big, and you could paint the inside of them black, which is pretty too. So I'm going to take him and put him right over here, because I have some space right over here. And so now they're together. Okay, so let me look overall before I start putting my greens in. The reason why I waited to put the greens in is to make sure I have all these soft stems that we're using today. I wanted to make sure that they all had a drink of water. They all went in there nicely. So as I look over this, I am going to add some Italian ruscus. The great thing about this Italian ruscus is you could buy 2 or 3 pieces and it would green your whole arrangement. See all these little laterals? I could cut them off and use them. See, I could use this to put in my arrangement here. I'm just going in and putting these stems in here. And I don't like him, see? Let me see if I can find another spot for him. Yeah, but now I gotta make him a little shorter. See, all the little details that go into making arrangement. Sometimes I could get it right on, and then sometimes, guess what? I don't. It depends upon the day, especially if I've had lunch or not. So let's use that. And now I'm just going to go around the base of it and kind of fill in these little areas down here. There's so many new styles of arrangements. There's arrangements that kind of are garden-like, and then there are your compact arrangements, which I love. A lush arrangement that has beautiful flowers in it. That's so girly, and I love that. And then there's a wild kind of look, which I'm going to be honest, I have a hard time with those kind of looks. Because, you know, I'm a kind of person that likes structure, that likes to tell a story with flowers. And when you have them all just sticking out everywhere, they are pretty overall because tons of people want them, but they're very hard to make once you know how to design. It's hard to go back to just putting flowers in a container and letting them flow to wherever. Now this shines up really well. You can use leaf shine on it if you wanted to. I didn't bring any up, so I'm not going to. but you definitely can. And I'm going to go through this arrangement and I'm just going to make sure that I'm covering the oasis up so you physically can't see the oasis. So as you look into the arrangement, you will not be able to see the green oasis that we put all of this stuff in. Because you don't want to be able to see that. How we put it together. And I'm just cutting these and sticking them in the center. Okay, so now that I have this, now what I'm going to add is maybe some grass. And I didn't bring up any picks or anything. So you could take your grass and you can massage it just like a calla and it will turn. I want it to go from this side. I'm just going to insert this. I'm going to cut it off to make this a point. I'm going to look for the oasis. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to massage this so they're both going the same way. And these are pretty hardy, so they're pretty solid. So sometimes you don't have to use picks with them. Sometimes they work really well, and sometimes they don't. It really depends on how solid it is. Like the difference between the grass. There's really thin lily grass, and then like this is really thick lily grass. So, and this lily grass adds movement to the arrangement. So it allows your eye to be carried through, but also you get excited about where it's going to go next. I just cut that off with my little nail. Putting it in there like so. And now I'm going to take a few of these pieces, put it back in my water. Going to massage it a little. Cut the stems off. And now I'm going to put it in here like this. So it comes out the side. Okay, let me see. Just going to put this in the trash can. I didn't even see that trash can there. If I would have seen it, I would have put all this in there as I went. I apologize. So I'm going to add, the last thing I'm going to add is seeded eucalyptus, but I'm not going to, seeded eucalyptus is costly. So when I go to add seeded eucalyptus, I want to add it in as an accent piece, not my full arrangement full of it. And we have some wax flower that I want to add in, but I'm going to add in, let's do my wax flower first. And this smells wonderful. Once you break it, oh, it smells so good. So you can use your knife or your scissors or your fingernail, which I use that a lot. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to add these little pieces. Now you don't want to load an arrangement up with tons and tons of filler flower. That's what this is normally used for. You want to do it so your eye appreciates it and it could see everything. Because if I were to load this up with that, you wouldn't be able to appreciate every one of these blooms. And I want you to appreciate everything you make. So every little bloom, flowers are so fun. I can't believe I get to do this every day of my life. Even on my days off, I love flowers. I love, 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 love flowers. Well, this side does not look so well. Mm-hmm. We're going to switch spots. See? I even make mistakes. Oh, yes. I think I did that. That's good. That looks fabulous like that. Sometimes it just takes me a second. We're going to put him right back in there. Yes, much, much, much better. So now we're just going to continue to add a little bit of wax in here. And I'm looking for a really nice piece. Okay. Now I'm going to accentuate it with some seeded eucalyptus. Who doesn't love this stuff, right? And this is going to add a different texture to it. A really pretty texture to it. And I like to add it to the bottom so it gives you that draping kind of look. I'm going to do it to the other side as well. We're not adding tons of this, we're just adding accent pieces of it. Okay. Wow, this turned out lovely. I don't mind this at all. This turned out pretty. So this is what we have. And you can use, like, see, we have some of these left. If I wanted to, I can cut this and find a fun spot for it. Maybe up in here. Because you want to make sure you use all your little scraps. But this is perfect. This is, I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure somebody would like it, right? What makes your autumn arrangements autumn? If you have anything different that you can add to an arrangement, please tell us. I would love to see new ideas and new product being used in arrangements. So it's really important for us as designers to be open to learning from people that don't design all the time either. And that is fine. We can't become better without each other, you know? So I want to say thank you so much for joining us here today. And you can join us every Wednesday between 11:30 and noon at your lunchtime. Yay! I hope to see you next week. Thank you.